Hi everybody, it's Sam at Mixed Up Craft. Thank you for watching my tutorial today. This is an extra tutorial. I don't usually upload on a Thursday, but yesterday I uploaded the big mama of lanterns. So this was the one that I shared yesterday, and you seem to really be enjoying it. So much so that I received quite an overwhelming amount of emails and messages and some comments all saying, oh, we'd love to make a small one. So I thought, oh, okay, because usually I get requests and stuff, but not to that degree. And yeah, so many of you were saying, oh, I really want to know how to shrink this down. Sam, can you give me the measurements for the smaller size? And I just thought, oh my God, I can't, you know, work this out and reply to everybody, and it would just be too hard to do. So I showed my husband last night, and he said, well, you're going to have to make a smaller one. So that's what I've done. So if anybody missed this one, I'll share the link up here now so you can have a look if you do want the big one. And the ones that I've seen people have made already that shared yesterday, they look amazing. They look so, so nice. So thank you for sharing them, and keep doing so because I do love seeing them. But this was, yeah, this is lovely. It holds a big battery operated candle, so really, really nice. So this is my mini one, and it holds one tea light, and it is so dinky. It's 2 by 2 by 3, 4, 4.5. Yeah. So it's a really nice one, and it hangs perfectly on the tree. You can see at the back there I've got the tea light. This is battery operated, make sure it's battery operated. But also you could put sweets in there, put them in a little cello bag and kind of stuff them in the back, or when I talk you through it you could pop them in the bottom, because this is a different construction. So this hasn't got that separate black base which I did on the larger one. This is all done together. So let me just turn the lights off and show you it lit up. That's as dark as I can go because it is still daylight. I've just drawn my curtains, but you can see, if I bring it up there, it seems to go darker. How cute. And you can see I've got a little music note vellum there which shows up as well. I'm going to make loads of these. These are all going to be hanging on my tree. Okay, so that is what we're going to make today, so let's crack on. Okay, I've made some variations. Oh, don't want that there. And yeah, hopefully I've done it so that everybody can create it again. So you need obviously a little tea light. These are just from IKEA. Yeah, I think they were IKEA. That's for the foliage. Again, some people messaged. I do share everything in my blog, so do go over there, and the link's always shared below. Sometimes it's a few hours after the video goes up, but it will be there. And it's this one here, and it just cuts out these really lovely little sprigs. So that's what I've used there. I've used that same hardware that I used on the bigger one. These were old Stampin' Up little embellishments, but they look like screws, so I'll be using them again. Okay, I've already made the little topper piece, and again I've put a little bell on it, and you can see those there. Okay, right, now I've done it in 2 separate pieces. Now the reason I've done it in 2 separate pieces, you cut this all from one piece of letter paper or A4, but rather than doing it as one continual strip, because if you were to do it, you know, imagine that was all together, the height or width doesn't fit through my big shot, because I have the, I'll just show you here, mine are just the, oh gosh, the 6-inch wide plates. Okay, so you can see there it just overhangs, and that way obviously it won't go because it's too wide. So I've done them as 2 separate pieces so that even people with a smaller cutting board, you know, die cutting machine can do this. If you know what you're doing and you have the bigger big shot, and you know to just keep that as one piece, like so. You imagine that's all together, so it would be a piece of 8 1/4 by 6 3/4, and you would just need to score at 2, 4, 6 and 8. Okay, so if you've got the bigger big shot, then you can do it as one piece. If you don't, like me, I've already done that bit, so I'll get rid of that now. You need 2 pieces that are 4 1/4 by 6 3/4. Okay, so first of all, along the 4 1/4 inch side, you just want to score at 2 and at 4. Okay, then rotate it so that no, actually we'll do it this way again, because you can make this taller if you want to. So if you want to make it taller, rotate the cardstock so that 1/4 inch tabs at the top, and you want to score at 3/4 inch, 1 3/4 inch, and then rotate all the way around so that 1/4 inch tab's now at the bottom, and score at 2. That way, if you want to have this as 9 inches, 10, 12, you might want a really long, tall lantern for some reason, for something specific to go in it. If you rotate it and just make sure that the other end you've scored at 2, then you know that your base will all fold it in. Otherwise, if you're just sticking with my measurements, you're just going to score at 3/4 of an inch, 1 3/4, and 4 3/4. Or, like I said, rotate and just score at 2. It's the same. Okay, so you want to do that on 2 pieces of cardstock. All right, there's my other one, but like I said, I've already prepped that one. Then you need a little thin piece here for your handle, which is, well, my other one was 5, so let's just stick with 5 by 3/8 of an inch. And then rather than having that separate black base that I did on the larger ones, this is just a strip, just for decoration, and again the strip around the top there. So you want one piece that is 8 1/4 by 3/8 of an inch, and again another piece as well. We're not going to score these, we're just going to wrap them. It's so much easier, and it is just there for decoration. Then for your vellum, so again this is from that same pack that I used on the other one, so I don't know where this vellum was from, but again there you can see it's just little music notes. It's really cute, and I thought quite festive. So you're going to need 3 pieces that are 1 7/8 of an inch squared. Okay, and I've gone ahead, that came out wrong, I've also gone ahead and I've popped my double-sided tape. Now I am using the very, very thin, it's just over 1/8 of an inch. If you don't have this, don't use anything thicker. What I would suggest is you use a little thin bead of wet glue or tacky glue, okay? But when we get to that bit, I will explain it in more detail. And then to cut my windows, I've got this square here, which is just a little die cut, and this one is 1 5/8 of an inch squared. You need something that size or smaller. Don't go bigger, because if you go any bigger, look, you've just not got the room. I've literally gone to what I think is enough. Any bigger and you're just not going to have a good kind of side join there. Okay, so yeah, that size or smaller. We need to do a little bit more scoring, which I had forgot about. So I told you how to do all the main ones. What you want to do is pop it back in the 4 1/4 inch orientation with the 1/4 inch tab on the right hand side. And you're going to score 3/8 of an inch just down to the first score line, 5/8 of an inch just down to the first score line, and 1 3/8 of an inch down to the first score line. Then go along and score at 2 3/8 of an inch down to the first score line, 2 5/8 of an inch down to the first score line, and 3 3/8 down to the first score line. Okay, so if I just bring that up, you can see there, these are all these other score lines, all just down to this one here, which is that 3/4 of an inch score line that you've done before. These ones here, these I'll talk you through. Again, if you watched my other one, you've already made it, you'll be whizzing through this because you'll know exactly what it is that you need to do next. Okay, so grab yourself a ruler, a metal ruler or something with a metal side. This Tim Holtz one does have that. And what you're going to do is, so this is your 1/4 inch tab, and then you've got these larger rectangles here. Within those large rectangles, you've got one here and then this one here. That's where we're going to score these diagonal score lines to create this chimney effect. Now you don't want to do anything to that score line there, so there's one there and then there's that random one there. All that is a tab to attach the chimney part together. You want to be working where this square is here, and this is a 3/8 of an inch. Is it 3/8 of an inch? What did I say that measurement was? 3/4 of an inch square. So we're working from that one. So you want to, from the rectangle here, from the bottom left or right, you want to score up to the bottom left or right of that 3/4 inch square. Like I said, ignore that score line, okay? So I'm going to go in and just define mine a little bit more. So just score, like I said, from the left and the right down to the left and the right of the rectangle, and go across to the next one. It's exactly the same as the larger lantern, it's just all been scaled down. You can see there what I've done. Okay, I'll pop a little template of this on my blog, just like that, just so that you can obviously, you know, make it out a bit better, but it's pretty self-explanatory. And if I show you this one where we've cut it, you should be able to see that's that random one that I said don't, you know, ignore, because it becomes a tab, and then these are all those triangles that we're going to be folding in. Okay, so you want to do that on both pieces. Then on both pieces we need to do some die cutting before we burnish or anything like that. So you've got your square here. Now what you want to do is bring it up about, what was it I said, 5/8 of an inch, yeah. So I'm just going to pop my ruler down there. So there's my 5/8 of an inch. Pop that in, but I am going to move it down just a tiny bit more because the cut line of this is actually in the middle of that metal frame. It's not right on the outer side there, so I want them to look as similar as I can. Got a bit of washi tape just to keep it in place because it is a smaller stamp prone to moving around, and I obviously don't want this to budge. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that one in my big shot. Okay, so that is what you will have, and you need to do that on both of your pieces that you've got here. So next we are going to burnish these score lines, so be careful along that join on your that kind of edge there, because obviously it is going to be a lot weaker. And then just do all of those ones. Top one's going to go that way, but I'm using craft cards so it doesn't matter about cracking and things like that. Okay, so you don't worry about any of these other ones for the minute, but that's what you should have. Then we just need to do some cutting, so just grab my scissors. Okay, so with the tab on the right hand side, okay, you are going to cut up these ones here, which are your base, and again this one here, and then just remove that one. Okay, so we've just got this little tab. Rotate it all the way around so they're now facing away from you. I'm just going to swap, use my snips actually. So you've got all these score lines here. First of all, actually along the tab, just snip that little one there. Okay, so you've got those, that still got that score line there. It's this one here that I'm going and cut down, and then just cut that whole piece out like so. So you see now where the tab, so the tab should just stretch along the side where you've got this big rectangle here. That's all you want the tab to be attached to. Okay, then go back along here. So first of all you just want to cut down, I'm just going to cut down that one there, just tidy that up a little bit. So that's the first score line. Then you've got your square here, that little 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch square, and then this other score line. That's the one you want to cut down, because you want to create this as a tab. Do not cut that one, because otherwise you just cut it off. Then go along, so there's your middle score line, go past that and go to the next one, which will be the start of the next square, 3/4 of an inch square, and then you want to remove that piece completely, like so. Go along, remember you've got these other two here, don't cut the first one, cut the last one, like so. And then go back to that beginning one and just remove that completely. Okay, then you want to just snip, that one would have already been, I've already done it, but just snip underneath, so you go along to create that little tab. So you see I've just cut enough up to this, again, this 3/4 of an inch square. So again, this one here, just cut just to the start so you can fold it. Again, I will put a little, you know, template of all those cut lines so you know which ones to cut and which ones not to. But, you know, that's what you want. These two need to be loose little tabs off of the left hand side of that little 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch square to create your chimney. Okay, hopefully that's made sense and I haven't been too confusing. It seemed a lot easier on the larger one, I think, because it is just so big. It was very easy to see all the score lines. So now with the triangle kind of sloped score lines, you need to fold them in. Oh, and you need to cut down this one here right through the middle just to the top of this score line here, so the top of where your windows are, just so that you can then burnish those. Okay, it's a little bit more complex, but it is still easy. Persevere. Like I said, I'll put those templates up, and I'll try and get that up before the blog, or as I'll get that blog up ready for when the video goes up. Okay, so you will have 2 pieces like that, and then you will have your vellum. So you'll have 3 pieces. I've already stuck one down. Now I'm treating this as my back, so I'm going to keep this one empty because that's the one I'm going to use to pop my tea light through. So flip it over and then take off your backing. So like I said, make sure that you only use a very, very thin tape, or if not, use a wet glue, because otherwise if you go too thick with your tape, it will come through and show on the other side. So this one that I've got here literally is enough. It's the border. Make sure my music note's the right way up. It's the border. If you see now when I pop it down, I'm actually using that tape as a guide when I stick this down. So now just make sure that's all stuck properly. When I turn it over, you can't see any of the tape. Okay, so again with this one here. Okay, so that's that one there. And again, you should do the same with that one, but you'll just have obviously one empty. It doesn't matter which one. It could be this one, could be that one. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so next we want to start popping it all together. So I'm going to use my red tape along my tab, like so. And again on this one here. Wet glue's fine, but I'm just, because it's so tiny, this piece, it's just a bit easier. And just make sure they're both stuck down. I'm going to start with this one first, and you're just lining everything up. So just make sure your base score line is like here, they're all lined up and the tops meet there, and just go over that like so. If when you go round and you pop your tabs down and it overhangs, see, I can get away with it, it's just slightly, ever so slightly coming in, I'm going to just take off the very, very outer part where the glue isn't, where I haven't actually put the tape on, like so, just so that when I bring it round it doesn't come into my window. There you go, you won't be able to see it now. Let's stick it down and then it'll make more sense. So just fold this side over and then fold that all down flat. It's just the same as constructing any other box. So it should all lie down nicely. So you can see there that that join isn't coming into my little window frame there. Okay, so that's what you will have. Then this is going to be my front. It says my back, this is my front. So this is going to be the last one to stick down. So all of these are going to go in. Now this is obviously how you can have your, if you don't want to have this open, you could put vellum on this as well and just have it as a treat box. And what I would suggest is you attach another little piece of card, stay like that, just fold it in half and attach it to the bottom, and then obviously cut it a bit shorter, but put a little bit of Velcro there, or you know, just seal it completely, and then you could have it as a little box that person can then undo the Velcro and then open the box up and take out the gifts that way as well. So if you do want to completely conceal it, you can do that. But yeah, there's obviously other ways to use this as well. So before we stick the base down, the base is actually going to be the last bit we do. You want to do all these side bits at the top. So the easiest way I've found to do this, because it's much smaller, with my wet glue, pick any one of the triangles and just do one side. So they're like pairs, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs. Fold that in, fold them both in, squeeze them together and put the whole box flat. Okay, and then just spend some time making sure that's nice and secure and also all lined up as well. Okay, so now already I've got a really nice corner. Then go to the opposite one. Okay, so again, pop some glue just on one of those triangles like so, fold them both in and then fold it flat. Okay, so now when you bring it together like that, it will start to form its more 3D form. This bit now is a little bit more fiddly, but as long as you go in from the top here with your finger, it's still pretty easy to manage. Just turn in the next kind of pair that you're working on, and again pop some glue like so, fold them in, and then what you need to do is with my finger I'm just kind of pushing it to one side. So I've pushed both of them to this side here, and it just allows me to get in there with my finger and my thumb and just really make sure that's all nicely secured. So it is still easy to do, but it's just that little bit fiddly. You can also go up that side there if you've got some tweezers, like so, and then kind of fold it over to the neck, the other side as well, just so you kind of get an even join. But there you go, it's just the same. And then the last one, fold them both in, and I'm just going to squeeze it inside there, like so. Again, it's all going to kind of come out now because I put too much on, but that's fine. Like I said, the craft card's really forgiving for stuff like this, which is why I love using it so much. Okay, so there you will have that piece. Next, you want to do kind of the same thing, but this time all of those tabs, so there'll be 4 tabs, pop your glue on a tab and bring it in and stick it down. Make sure you get it all nice and straight, like so. That glue will dry clear. That's what you want. So go to the next one, again pop some glue, bring it out, fold it in, and then pop it back in again. Okay, so that is what you should have. So there's your little chimney. So now we can finish the bottom. So fold in the back first, and then I'm going to add some glue to both of the sides, like so. This would look so nice with a little piece of jewellery in it. Imagine a nice ring or something, like the big present we always say you save till last, and just leave it hanging on the tree. And I think that would be so pretty, especially if you've got any special birthdays around Christmas or near or on Christmas Day. I know some people that have birthdays on Christmas Day, and yeah, I think that would be really nice. Nice necklace. You could probably even get a watch in here actually, if it's in a nice little pouch or something. And then the last one, I'm just going to fold down over the top there. I didn't take any wedges off the bottom, but it's so small, it's fine. And then you can just go inside the back there with your fingers and just squeeze it all down, make sure it's all nice and secure. Okay, and then just the fun part now to decorate. So you've got your 2 larger strips, and then you've got that smaller 5-inch strip, so that's your handle. So the back is where I'm going to start and do my join. So I'm just going to cover a little bit shorter than the width of my cardstock that I'm going to use with glue. So I'm just going around all of my 4 sides there. So this glue dries completely clear anyway, so I'm not too worried. Start from the back, like so, and just wrap it around, keeping it really hugging that bottom. You don't want to see any of the brown. And then you can just pinch all of the corners just to kind of really embed it into the cardstock there. And if you've got any overhang, just pop a bit of glue, but it should wrap round perfectly, that 8 1/4 inch length. And there you go. How cute's that look? And then I'm going to do the same with the top. You don't need it this long, but it was just easier just to say that. So again, I'm just going to pop my glue around the top there, starting from the back, and again just wrap it around. And then I'll just trim off, just pop a bit of glue just to seal it. And again, just pinch it on all of the edges there. There's that piece. And I'll do my handle in a minute. Then I'm going to stick my lovely decoration. That's what does it. As soon as you put that on, it just completely transforms it. Pop a bead of glue on the back and pop that in the middle. Again, I can just go in there with my finger and just so I can really stick that down. And then my little handle, which is this piece, put a splodge of glue on one side, like so. And then again on this side here. And just kind of just curl it a little bit there, and then it should wrap around perfectly. Again, you can have this as short, long, you might not even want to put one on there. But these, how nice will these look as table favours as well, with a nice little truffle inside, or each one with a tea light in all lit up. I just think it's going to look so pretty. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I might do them as little favours for my tree, for my table. Okay, then any dry glue you might have, I just use my amazing Siron rubber here, adhesive remover rubber. It's brilliant, gets everything off. There we go, and then I've just got 2 of my little screws left here. You could put brads, like I said for the other tutorial. Pop one there and one there, just stick them down. Okay, and there you have it. If I just bring it up there so you can see all the detail. How adorable. So I've got another candle, pop that inside. Oh, it is so cute. I think it's the cutest thing I've made in terms of it's small. I just absolutely love this so much. You can just kind of see the candle there. So there you have it, 2 really, really dinky, cute lantern tree decorations or table favours, whatever you want to use them for. But I hope this has answered all those emails and comments and requests to do a smaller one. I hope this is a good size. I think it is. I think it's balanced and everything else. So yeah, I think it should work really well. So hope you've enjoyed it. As always, please share these over on Mixed Up Crafters, and I'll be back again with my normal tutorial tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.